In the process of doing self-reflections, be very brave. By being brave, I mean, if you have had any assumptions, any thoughts that you thought were better for the lesson or for the methodology or for evaluating your students, be brave to challenge those assumptions. Every time when you make assumptions as a teacher, the next time you need to challenge the same assumption, because every time the results are not the same as you expected out of your assumptions. For example, you assumed 10% of your class is going to get an A grade, whereas later the results they show that only 5% of your class were able to achieve the A grade. That means your assumption was not correct. And there is no harm in having an incorrect assumption, because teachers are human beings. They can also make mistakes. They can also assume something which would not be correct. They can assume something which could be 50% correct, 50% incorrect, 80% correct, 20% incorrect. But there is no harm in having those assumptions challenged by you. Instead of anybody coming and challenging your assumptions, it is better that you challenge your assumptions yourself. Why did I think my students would be getting A's? Why did I think 10% of my class would get A? Why didn't I think about their correct assessments and skills? Why couldn't I evaluate them well? What were the reasons to that? Was I taking them for granted? Or maybe they were showing a better performance in the class? If that was the reason, then what is making them do less performance or show less performance in their written tests? Is there any specific reason for that? Are the instructions in the test not clear for them? Or maybe they cannot comprehend that. Maybe in the class I am being more flexible. I am giving them more ideas in the classroom, and therefore their classwork is much better, and probably I assumed 10% of my students would get straight A's. So this is the way a chain has to be built in order to find out the reason why my assumption went wrong. For example, in a football match, I assumed my team is going to win, but my team lost. Why? Why did I think? Where was I wrong when I thought my team was better than the other team? What were the features that made my team lose? And why did I not notice those features? Was the practice not enough for my team to win the game? Did they become overconfident? So it is sort of an analysis. Usually, analysis is done in a group, or maybe some senior people, they do the analysis, and then they come and they say, well, this is what they have analyzed, and these were the problems in your assumption. Instead of having an external analysis, it is good for the teachers to do their own analysis and challenge their own assumptions and find out where the assumption went wrong. And in future, need to take care of that particular area where the assumption went wrong, where the evaluation or the assessment went wrong, on which the teacher has based the assumption. Therefore, it should be the job of our own self-reflective practice that we evaluate ourselves, challenge our assumptions, and work better in future.